Sega 32X. Released at the tail end of 1994 at a price tag of $159, the 32X was an add-on released for the Sega Genesis that allowed for owners to play specially designed 32-bit games on their 16-bit Genesis. What may have sounded like a cool and novel idea on paper turned into a massive failure for Sega, with the 32X being overshadowed by the Sony PlayStation and Sega's own Saturn console. For those of us loyal to collecting Sega games, and for those crazy enough to put up with the 32X, there's been one main problem that has plagued the 32X, besides its small software library. It's known to be pretty faulty. Many consumers would complain about how the 32X would just flat out stop working. Shockingly, this is actually an easier fix than one would think. Today, I'm going to show you how to fix a faulty 32X from its most common hardware failure. First, you'll need a standard Phillips head screwdriver, or an equivalent. Pliers aren't necessary, but can be helpful later on. Use your screwdriver to take out the first 4 screws for the outer plastic. Once that's been removed, you're going to want to remove the metal casing protecting the actual guts of the 32X. Remember, these screws holding the metal casing are different from the ones holding the plastic together, so make sure you keep them separated. Now that you have the metal casing removed, you'll see the root of the problem, these 2 flat white wires. These wires are integral to your 32X running the game properly. What you're going to want to do is pull out these 2 wires. Wiggle the wires out of their sockets, not too hard, but just enough to get them out. After that, try cleaning out the sockets with compressed air or blow into them to get rid of any dust that might make a bad connection. Once you feel like you've cleaned them out enough, begin to reinsert the cables exactly how they were when you took them out. Now that you have the flat wires inserted properly, try testing a 32X game before screwing the casings back on. If the game boots up normally, then you've just fixed your 32X. From what I've gathered, the reason for this hardware error is a little thing called thermal creep. Thermal creep is when electronic devices, like a standard PC, experience excessive heat that causes connections of internal components to literally creep slightly out of their sockets. This is a very common issue with PCs, as the heat generated can cause something like a RAM stick to creep slightly out of a secure connection. The 32X, when played for long periods of time, can get pretty hot, which leads me to believe that thermal creep is most likely the primary culprit for this hardware failure. Now the only thing left to do is screw on the metal casing and plastic housing. After that, you're all set. Enjoy your freshly repaired Sega 32X.